Hello, this is Lori Michelle, the Moshiach, to answer a question. Is there such a thing as human rights? A dumb question, you think? Do you think so? If you clicked on this, you're curious. Is there such a thing as human rights? Your automatic answer might be, of course there are human rights, right? Especially if you're American. We have constitutional rights in America. All over the free world, we have rights. And in America, we have the inalienable right to pursue happiness. Well, I'm not here to talk about the pursuit of happiness. I've already spoken about it. You can look on my YouTube station or comb my website. I'm here to talk about human rights. Is there such a thing as human rights? I thought I was going to talk about Damar Hamlin, the young football player who died on the field and came back to life. Amazing, right? That's what I had scheduled for today. But Hashem had another idea. And at breakfast, I was eating my eggs, and he said, Lori, do we have human rights in this world? And I don't answer automatically. Do you answer questions? I know the answer to that one. Do you do that? You should learn to pause and think. And I paused and I looked at his spiritual eyes, which I can do. Amazing, right? Listen up, people. I'm trying to give this away. I'm looking at him right now. He's smiling at me. I looked at him and he already knew what I was going to ask him. And he said, Lori, you're allowed to think about this answer. I said, thank you, Hashem. I need to think about this. Do we have human rights? Is there such a thing as human rights? And I was pausing and eating my eggs. And he said, Lori, please talk to me while you're thinking about your answer. I'd like to hear out loud what you're thinking. And I said, Hashem, you put us here. He's real, people. If you're watching this, God willing, you know God is real. I said, you put us here. Yes. I said, so this is a privilege. He says, yes. I said, it's not a right. I don't have a right to be here. You don't have a right to be here. You're here because he said, here's a privilege. Here's a blessing. Come into the physical world and enjoy a physical life. So do you have rights? I thought, do we have rights? Are there animal rights and people rights? Are there rights? And I paused and he said, just answer your first gut reaction. And I said, no, I don't think we have any rights. And he said, you're right. If you want to learn something, continue to listen. It's time, people. Read what I have to say. He helped me write this book. And we're in a state of horror. This world is hell. And I said, whoa, this is a deep conversation. I don't want this video to go on forever, so I'll try to be concise. He said, yes, but human rights, the belief that you have a right, is at the core and center of why we're spinning out of control. And this world is a hellhole. Really. If you listen to me enough, you'll see the cracks and the chinks in everyone's armor. And we're not going to get there from here, meaning we're not ever going to have peace on earth. You're fighting for your freedom of speech. Is there really a right to have freedom of speech? Well, God gives us freedom. That's inherent in the privilege of coming here and being in a body and having a life here. He gives us freedom, and he gives us the duality of choosing good and evil in every single moment. That's your right to choose, your freedom to choose. But do you have a right to be happy? Happy, happy, happy. Go straight to happy. No, you don't. Do you have a right to shoot your mouth off and say anything you want at will? No, you don't. And you might say, oh, Laura, you're not telling me anything I don't know. We already know you can't go into a crowded theater and shout fire. You'll get in trouble. You're harming people. But what else is harming people when you speak? Have you studied God's laws? Have you studied the laws of evil speech? Do you know what evil speech is? Some of you have. Some of you I have spoken to privately, and I've guided you to learn how to use your mouth, when to shut your mouth, when not to say anything at all. Do you know how to do that? If you check out social media, most people have no idea how to use this God-given privilege of speech. So no, you have no rights. And all of these human rights groups, these human rights watch groups who spit on Israel all the time. Israel's always at fault for violating human rights, which is a farce, is it? Israel's guilty of evil, and so are you, so is America, so is the UK, so is India. Everyone, every one of you is guilty of evil. But human rights violations? The king and the master of the universe says, there are no such thing. There is no such thing as human rights. You have a privilege. You were given a privilege to come here in a vessel. And he gave us a guidebook, laws. And our laws, human laws, must reflect his laws. Why is that? His laws were given to us to lead a blessed life here in the physical world and not step on each other's toes. And if we follow his laws, they're for our good, our blessing, our joy. We don't go straight to happiness. As a matter of fact, human rights, so you say that you have rights. You have rights in America, constitutional rights, paves the way to sin. You're legalizing sin when you are defending human rights. I know, that's a very deep statement. How could you say such a thing? And the king and the master of the universe said, because it is. You're paving your way to hell. We're in hell, people. Look around. The fighting, the bombs are dropping. Have you noticed? Have you looked on social media? The anger, and everybody's accusing everyone else of violating their rights. You don't have any. Very confusing. It's really not. I lay it out in this book. Very easy to understand, is it? And it can be sourced by noble and brilliant rabbis who are not willing yet. He said that's correct. So today I thought I would talk about cardiac arrest and Damar Hamlin, but he had another idea. He wants me to tell you, you have no rights, you have a privilege. And in every moment, that privilege is to choose between good and evil. And you need to bone up on what is good and what is evil. God bless you. Peace on earth begins with you. God bless you.